Hi, I'm Jennifer Morris, and I'm part of the Kingwood chapter for NCL, and this is my daughter, Rachel. Today, we're going to show you how to make the yarn dolls for the Heritage Park, part of Jesse Jones. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to get is you need to have some cotton balls. You're going to need to have some cardboard, some scissors. You're going to need 3 different types of yarn, and you're going to need some cross stitch. So the cardboard, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be able to cut the body forms out. There's one body form for the arms and the apron, one for the body, and one for the hair. So I have already gotten out some 4 of the different yarns that you can use. In the Heritage Park, they would like you to be able to use the darker color yarns. They prefer you not use sugar white because they didn't have sugar white yarn back in the Heritage days. And they sell these outside and give them to children on field trips. And the sugar white gets dirty and then they can't use the doll. So they prefer that you use an off-white, tans, or a dark brown. Okay, so you also need to get different kinds of hair. I have found that Hobby Lobby has the best collection for hair. So I have this beautiful rope yarn that can be used, but I also have found at Hobby Lobby they have this beautiful curly hair. I also found a beautiful orange, but also at Hobby Lobby, I found that they have this beautiful thick hair that you can use for orange hair. They also have huge rope hair that is in dark brown and light brown. They have curly hair that is also in black, and then they have rope hair that is in black. If you're going to use regular yarn, it's going to take more of this yarn just because it's so stringy. So it looks like this when you do it. So if you could find one, this is more like the Rapunzel golden hair. So if you could find one that looks more like yarn hair, that would be great. And then, of course, there are girls that have straight blonde hair and brown hair. So, of course, you're welcome to use that if you can find it. Here's some gray hair, and then, of course, the gray curly hair. So they come in all different kinds. And then down here, you'll see that we have a variety of different apron colors. Now, I have stayed in the hues of browns, greens, blues, just because those are things, pinks, because those are colors that they would have had access to use flowers to dye the different yarns. All right, so Rachel and I are going to show you how to make this beautiful baby. What I'm going to ask you is do not use non-traditional colors for their hair because they would not have had a way to make purple or green hair coloring back then. So we're going to make this baby today. So the first thing we're going to do is Rachel has some yarn already wrapped around the body form. Now the body form, what I've done is I've taken 2 different pieces of cardboard and I've used box tape and put 2 different forms together because over time, as you wrap, your board is going to get crunched. And so rather than have that happen, I put 2 forms together to make it more sturdy. All right, so Rachel has started. She chose a body form, and Rachel has already pre-cut 4 different body-colored strings that she's going to have out, and then she has already pre-chosen before the video what color she wanted to do the hair. This is a new hair type for us, so she wanted to see what this looked like. So we're going to try that new hair today. So Rachel has wrapped the body form, and the way that you do it is you just start at the bottom, and all you do is you take your preferred color and you hold it down at the bottom with your thumb, and then you just start wrapping it around the form. All right, Rachel, so show them what you've done, and let's go ahead and get it cut off there, okay? Here you are. Good job. Okay, now we're going to take the hair piece before we cut it off of the body form. And Rachel, show everybody what we're going to do with the hair piece. So the very first thing we've done is we've wrapped it 40 times. If you have thinner yarn, you might want to wrap it 50 times. It makes a good thick doll. Don't do anything less than 40 wraps. Now Rachel is going to put the hair color that she's already pre-chosen through the body form with the extra yarn at the bottom. So go ahead and tie it at the top. This is why it's a mother-daughter activity because I'm going to help her make a tie tight, double knotting so that the hair does not come off. Now that she's done that, she is free to cut the bottom of the body form. Go ahead, Rachel, and cut that off. Good job. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to lay it out. And Rachel is going to go ahead and she's chosen this as her hair color. So, Rachel, do you have some already wrapped?
I do.
Okay, and the way you would do that, again, is you just start the yarn at the bottom and you just start wrapping it. And then when you're finished, you just cut it off at the bottom. All right, Rachel, do you have yours done? So now you're ready to cut it off. So now Rachel's going to show you how to cut it off. And I have the body form open and I have the hair open, ready for Rachel. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to take all the yarn and I'm going to take the yarn and I'm going to lay it crosswise in the hair and I'm going to tie it, and this time Rachel is going to use her finger to help me out. Okay, Rachel, ready? Super tight, push down super hard. And why did we double knot it? It's so the hair doesn't fall out. Now there it is. That's the hair and the beginning of our body. Now the next thing we do is we physically flip over the baby where the hair is laying down. Okay, so now we have 2 cotton balls and we're just going to use 1 cotton ball at this time. If our baby was thicker, we could use more. We're going to put the cotton ball, I don't know if you can see this, but we're going to put the cotton ball right here, right next to the hair tie underneath, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to grab one of the strings that we pre-made before we made the baby. Rachel's going to hold that one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push the cotton ball all the way up to the top as close as I can, and Rachel's going to come in underneath and get as tight to the cotton ball as she possibly can, and she's going to double knot it. And then when she double knots, we're just going to let those strings from the tie fall into the baby. Very good. So now we get the fun part of making her arms. So Rachel, can you get your color? And Rachel's just going to wrap the arms. Now I've put all of mine all on 1 pieces of cardboard. So I've got the hair, the apron, and the arms all on one. The only one I need is the body form so that I can go around and travel with my stuff. And so Rachel, you ready? Good job. Start at the bottom. Oh, here we go. Start at the bottom. So we're going to start at the bottom and I'm going to wrap it super fast 30 times. 1, 2. Okay, I did a little more than 40. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it off down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to it and I'm actually going to lay the scissors down here and I'm going to cut it off. And then what I'm going to do is I have real close to me the 3 that we had cut earlier because I used 1 on her head. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this to Rachel and she's going to braid the arms starting at the very, very top. I'm going to hold the very, very tip of this and Rachel's just going to just chunk it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It does have to be tight though. The tighter, the better. Oh, you're doing a great job. Just braiding over, under, over, under. Good job, Rachel. Oh, she has beautiful arms. Okay, when Rachel starts getting down to the point where it's hard for her to keep braiding, that's when she'll know to stop. And she's actually going to hand me that end of the braid. And now Rachel's going to use 2 of those pre-cut pieces. She's going to put 1 underneath, and I'm going to use my extra finger here to help her do a double knot so that the little hands don't come undone. Good job. And she's going to do 1 more on this side. Now, we have just officially made the arms. So here they are, and they look kind of stringy. So now I'm going to show you how to clean it up. So Rachel and I like to use a bowl at the table, but of course you're welcome to bring a trash can in. What I do is I put my thumb on the top and I put my finger underneath and I push the yarn out as much as I can. And then what I do is I go around and give it a nice even trim. And then what this is doing is it's causing it to look like fingers. So I'm going to do it again, push it out, and I'm just going to make them even right there in our bowl of yarn. So now the arms are made. Here comes the fun part. We're going to take the baby. This is our baby. And if her head sticks out like this, I don't want you to worry. You can either add more yarn to the next one you do, but all you do is just tuck it in and hide it. That's it. And so what you're going to do is find the baby's front. I think this might be her front. What do you think? Yeah. You like that part? Okay, so we're going to take the baby and we're going to divide her. And we're going to actually not divide her perfectly in half. We're going to divide her a little more in the back and a little less in the front. Okay, so you want to slide her arms? Now, she's going to slide the arms in and make them even. Can you pull them up to the top? Make sure they're even, like pull them this way. Yes, there we go. So see, her little arms are now even. So now what Rachel's going to do is I'm going to pull her little arms up, and Rachel is going to tie a tie directly below her little arms. And this will make the waist of the baby doll. And I use my thumb to help Rachel make that knot. And then we're just going to let those strings fall right in. Our baby is actually taking shape. Rachel, good job. She's beautiful. All right, so now the next part. Now, if we were making a boy, we would actually divide this and we would braid this, and that would make a boy, and then we would cut it into feet. But we've actually been asked to just make little girl dolls. So now we've got the hair, the head, the arms, the body. So the next fun part?
The apron.
The apron. Rachel has already pre-cut one piece of the apron. Here it is. And what we need is we need two pre-cut pieces of the apron. One is going to go in the hair and one is going to tie the apron later. Thank you, Rachel. All right, so go ahead and wrap the apron. Now the apron is the only thing we don't cut off of a cardboard. The apron slides off of a cardboard and then it wraps around the neck of our doll. So Rachel has right here where it says apron, and the apron is going to go across this way, just like the arms did. So go ahead and start it. And we only do this about 10 times because you don't want the apron to be big. And ours is thicker, so we don't have to have it 10 times. All right, so now we're going to start and end on the same side as our cardboard. So here's the beginning, and here's going to be the end. So I'm going to actually have Rachel hold it. I'm going to cut it. And then all we're going to do is not cut this off the cardboard. We're actually going to slide it off. And then we're going to hold it open. And we're going to put the baby's hair through first. And then we're going to let it rest around her neck. Pull it in front. There you go. So now, here's our baby's apron. She's got it around her neck. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to lay her down, and we're going to put the apron down there. We're going to actually lay her on top of her apron piece that we've pre-cut. And now Rachel is going to tie the apron onto baby. Super tight. Oh, let me get her hair up. There you go. Okay, super tight, so I'm going to help her with my finger again. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut any of the remaining strings. You want to get the bowl? Cut any of our remaining strings, and we're going to make them the same length as our apron so that they just all kind of blend into the apron. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to make our baby look good. So what Rachel and I have chosen to do is we've said we're not going to go to the smallest ribbon, but we're going to find, like, where does she start becoming kind of empty looking. And we're just going to trim her body, shake her, look for any kind of outliers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold her over the bowl. And what we're going to do is we're going to use her, we're going to hold her by her waist, and we're going to use our bowl, and we're actually going to give her, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to give her a hairdo first, and then we can cut her hair. So they have asked that we don't do fancy hairdos on her. They have asked that we please just do a top-notch hair bow. So let me show you what I did. I actually just pulled some of her hair that's in the front, and then Rachel wrapped the ribbon, and then all Rachel's going to do is tie that ribbon in, and I'm going to put my finger on top because, again, we're going to make it super tight. And you can either tie it and make it into a knot and let it just fall. You can make it into a bow. You can put 2 or 3 together and make it like just a cute little firework looking. I'm just going to trim ours a little bit to make it portion to her head. And now what I'm going to do is this has actually changed the height of her hair. So now I'm going to hold her by her waist, and I'm going to hold her up, and I'm going to give her a haircut, being careful not to cut her body. I'm going to shake her, look for any little low-lying hair. All right, there she is. Now, baby is almost done. Now, the last step that we're going to do, Rachel has already chosen her eye colors for this baby. So we've done the entire thing in this like dark gray, light gray, pink, and a slight tint of blue in this apron. And you want your baby to look good, so you want things to look good together. So now Rachel has already pre-chosen up here. These are all the different eye colors that are available at Hobby Lobby. All you do is go get a huge needle that is used for needle point that has a huge eyelet. And then what we do is we're going to take the baby and lay her down. And Rachel has pre-chosen this gray to go with her different apron. And of course, with every apron, every hair color, eye color, skin color, they ask that you just pick whatever looks best with your baby. So I push it through a little less than halfway over, and I leave a little bit of the eye piece hanging out. And all I'm going to do is go twice or 3 times through without actually tugging on it and without tying a knot in it. And now I've gone through twice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this end, and I'm actually going to knot the eye. And I'm going to do it like that. And then Rachel's going to clip it to make eyelashes. And then what I'm going to do is do the other side. And again, just put 2 or 3, 4 pieces of yarn. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to pull it through, leave a little bit on the side. I'm going to do it twice. And again, if your cotton ball comes ever sticking out, all you do is shove it back in her head. All right, so there's her next eye. I'm going to tie it. Rachel's going to cut it. And now Rachel has our version of the baby doll that is going to go to Jesse Jones Park. Now, while they're at Jesse Jones Park, they will actually add the beads to them while they're in the park. So our only job is to get the body form, the hair, the apron, and the eyes. Congratulations, you just learned how to make Jesse Jones yarn dolls. Bye.